Okay, it is Wednesday. What is it? I think the 17th, October 17th or something, 2019. We're going to do a video blog, diary entry, whatever you want to call it. Terminology has changed with age or technology. Information about my life, which the world needs to know. Because for some strange reason there's a worldwide eradication operation with the judicial system, psychology community since 5 years old to try to remove me from society so I can have a normal life locked in a cage like my father does to his dogs while putting shock collars and things like that on his other dogs, right? Okay, so why would people support something like this, especially since I was 5 years old? I cannot comprehend it. Okay, hence why we have to keep telling the world more and more intricate details about my life so that the world eventually understands that everything they've been told is blatant lies with an agenda, a government flagging eradication agenda. Okay? Because it wouldn't be happening and I wouldn't have endless proof of it if I was crazy. And I never would have thought a thing about anything up until 29, met with Mike Huntley and the people working with him, that I'm a dead man with the judicial system. So, which links straight to my father paying off Mike Huntley and probably paying off the police. Okay, so these are things I don't have proof of or fact, but it's blatantly obvious, tracing the information flow from my family to the police to eradicating me, and then they keep trying to throw on these lame psychological labels to justify locking me in jail cells or mental institutions. Who knows why? These types of things are always the same. Hate, rage, their rage, their insecurity, just like Adolf Hitler. Okay, so let's look at my notes. Today's notes of what to talk about. Once again, these notes are kind of fragmented, random thoughts. There's no sequence to them. There's just random. I'm kind of watching people attack me in their anger and rage, and I go, oh, I need to talk about this or something. Something reminds me of this childhood event or that childhood event that they're trying to make me look crazy or whatever. So I just jot them down. Okay, so let's see at the top of the notes. 42-year public mobbing nuisance to have me killed or eradicated, locked away, jail cells, mental institutions, get me to blow my brains out. Okay, for 42 years, the government has had mass groups try to mob me to death with their psychological torture operations, and they always turn it around saying Kevin's a public nuisance, and Kevin, me, isn't doing anything. It's like the same thing that's going on today. I go to some public place, mass groups take turns in anger and rage on me, trying to provoke me into reactions to make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo. And Kevin's ruining our lives because we didn't get what we wanted by setting him up to eradicate him. So he's a public nuisance. Right? Okay, so 42 years of mass thugging and mobbings to me, bullying, insane amounts of groups, all my friends in high school, Brian Weaver, Tom Hope, Greg Waugh, working with my brother and all his friends to set me up to eradicate me. They couldn't set me up, so then I'm a public nuisance then. My brother and his continual bullying when I was really young. Mommy, Jason won't leave me alone. Up, you're a snitch, you're dead. Well, normally the people in your family aren't psychotic murderers, and normally people don't support psychotic murderers. Okay, so all of my brother's lies and, oh, poor me, Jason Perlman, oh, poor me. Yeah, right, the guy's still involved in these, at 47 years old, still trying to hunt me down with these worldwide groups, with his wife and all of his friends and whatever, right? So the Jason Perlman, oh, poor me. Yeah, the guy's been told by my own family since a young age to eradicate my existence, and here we are at 47 with worldwide groups helping him. And they're trying to turn around like, oh, Kevin, you're going after your brother because you have a website stating all the 47 or 42 years of hunting me down to have me eradicated, and you're going after your brother for simply having a website saying I haven't done anything and this is what's being said about me and this is what these people are doing. Yeah, I don't think so. That doesn't really quite cut it, because I'm one man and there's about 4 to 7 billion people taking turns on me now for 42 years to have me killed, and I guarantee you that nothing's being said or done to my brother, my family, or anyone else. They're all going out living their lives saying don't let Kevin say anything, and if he says one thing about anything we've done to him, kill him or eradicate it. Okay, so while I've had multiple people today follow me from place to place calling me brother and things like that, it's just noise with the, whatever you want to call it, the bigoted, racist, Jew-hating, kill Kevin 42-year groups, okay? And they're going to say whatever they need to say to justify killing me or eradicating me or locking me in cages and mental institutions like my daddy likes to do. And he's going to make up any cover-up lie, oh, Kevin did this to me, Kevin did that to me. Well, yeah, right, bullshit. I turned 29. I was sitting in an office with Mike Huntley, who wanted me to come back from Colorado to start a company with him so bad. My father wanting me to move into his house for a year so bad. And my mother calling me up on the phone, pure pressuring me to move back to start a business with Mike Huntley. Okay? Reeling me in to their bullshit to finish the job. Right? They will say and do whatever it takes. I had no clue they were hunting me up until 29, and I still couldn't even piece much together until about 38. And they will say whatever they need to say with their endless billions of government dollars of resources to get what they want. Okay, so the Kevin is a public nuisance? No. All these people are a public nuisance to me with their worldwide kill Kevin Perlman or eradicate his kind agenda. Why do I say his kind? Well, that's one of their terms. My kind. Kevin's different and we need to exterminate him. I can't tell you what the fuck their problem is, because last I checked, I have 2 arms, I have 2 legs, I have 1 mouth, I don't bite into people's brains and suck their brains dry or anything, okay? So what their fucking problem is, I have no clue. It's just happening the same way that Jews were massacred by Adolf Hitler, the same way slaves were killed or black people were made slaves or killed, the same way that the KKK kills minorities. The same thing is being done to me since 5 years old, and then they're trying to turn it around. Hence me kissing a black girl at Sunny Skies Day Camp around when I was 8 years old, and obviously she was 8 years old. And my family and the police and government going ballistic that Kevin's a white supremacist for kissing a black girl. Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So is it fair to say that these people hunting me down, saying I'm a white supremacist for kissing a black girl, are angry mobs and public nuisances to me? Well, Mike Huntley's spouting weird shit in his office at 29. I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with. For me being nice to the guy and letting him in my fucking life and bending over backwards for him and trying to make money and start a company with the guy who is actively pursuing me with my brother and all his friends and my friends and half the planet. That's what happens in my life. Sure, you know, I want to make some money. I know you. I trust you. Kevin, you're a dead man. And we have police, government, NSA, FBI support to kill you as well. Okay, very strange. Oh, with the psychology community. Okay, let's see. In my notes, where are we? So while the judicial system's running around trying to cover up their kill Kevin operations, Kevin is a public nuisance. It's just a cover-up argument to try to make killing me or eradicating my kind look justified when I'm the only one who actually isn't a public nuisance. Okay. In the last 24 hours, this is a common 42-year tactic. In the last 42 hours, in the last 24 hours, people following me to public locations, pretending to be crazy, to try to make me look crazy. Now, this has been a common tactic my entire life. Sending Rody Morales after me, sending Julia Sofia Reynoso after me, sending Jen Hess after me. There's a slew of probably a good 1,000 of these people. The last 2 days, someone gets really desperate that I'm outliving my life, and they get angrier. And the more I live my life, the angrier they get. Well, that's strange. I don't know these obsessed fucking psychopaths. Right? Go live your fucking life. Stop following me around in your mass 42-year group saying I have to be who you tell me I have to be, and I have to do what you tell me I have to do, and I'm not allowed to talk to people, I'm not allowed to have friends, or you're going to hunt me and kill me with the judicial system. It's very strange to begin with. And then you're snitch, you're dead, and you better not talk, you're dead, and this and that, and you're dead. And then you go to the police, and the police go, we're not going to help you, you're dead. Did I miss something? Okay, so, I mean, why wouldn't the police help me? Why are the police involved with this? Why, when the police found out that this was going on and I was a young child, did the police not say, Ronald Perlman, we're locking you away for hunting down trying to kill your son, and your son doesn't even understand what's going on, right? Instead, they're coming after the son like you're the bad seed for not knowing your family's trying to eradicate your existence. Okay. How dare I? I'm a horrible monster. As if it's my responsibility to protect and serve. It's their responsibility. Okay. And then they'll turn around. Kevin thinks he's the boss. Whatever. Just weird as shit, right? Okay. Okay, so let's see. The two people that followed me in the last 24 hours. Aside from the mass groups working on me, trying to trigger me and get reactions. Okay, so you have mass groups mobbing you. This never stops. They follow you from place to place. If they're not following you, they know who you are, and they're trying to trigger you with the mimic tactics, mimicking. Today I had about probably 100 people. Some of them were the same people, like one lady at the DMV probably mimicked alrighty then a good 30 times while me waiting in line to see the DMV because I'm joking around doing some Jim Carrey YouTube whatever I'm joking around with some Jim Carrey things like alrighty then, right? And they're playing this game like, well, Kevin's a plagiarist because he copied Jim Carrey, so we have to hunt him and kill him for his crime. Well, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. So, the point is, going to update my registration at DMV today. The employees, all the employees were saying perfect 100,000 times and alrighty then. Well, like probably a good, 100 times in the 40 minutes I was there. The one lady just behind me just constantly, alrighty then, in hopes that she can just get me to stand up and beat the shit out of her, right? This is and has been the 42-year agenda with the police and government to try to make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo. Anyways, in between all this, because I'm verbal and I'm saying, here's my website, this is what's going on. This is the truth. Stop fucking attacking me. Leave me alone. They have people show up. Now, the judicial system is going to try to cover this up, first of all. And they're going to say, Kevin's trying to force his website on people by telling people that this website has the truth. And you all have been lied to. Well, that's the stupidest thing known to man, because what that states is, Kevin, you better not fucking talk or we kill you. Just like the video footage of the dog attacker, which the police seem to have paid off, saying, you're a snitch, you're dead, and attacking me with his trained canine. Why am I not allowed to tell anyone if people are hunting me down, trying to torture, kill, make me look crazy, set me up to try to make me look like a public nuisance? Why would I not be able to tell anyone that? I'm just supposed to sit there and accept my death? Or like Sean Dinsey says, how do we force people into mental institutions we don't like? Well, I didn't know there was anything in the judicial system that says you're allowed to rid people of the world you don't like. There's no such thing as forcing people to mental institutions. Okay, so that's a crime. Okay, so the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Look, if you're following me in hundreds of people per hour from place to place, I'm allowed to fucking tell you that you've been lied to. And within self-defense. Now, Seymour Amster didn't want that coming into the courtroom and crafted everything to leave that out to try to make me look crazy. Especially leaving out who I am and my background and where I come from and the jobs I've done and things like this. Trying to make me look crazy. Okay, but anyways, back to the point. So, in between all this, we're going to keep trying to set Kevin up, get reactions, make him look like a violent paranoid schizo, try to make him look like he's crazy, try to make him look like he's a schizo like his brother, try to make him look like he has 24 split personalities or whatever, telling him he's not allowed to joke around with people, have fun, do this, do that, date women, have social lives, you name it. In between all that, you get the idea. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. In between all of that, you're not allowed to tell anyone that they've been lied to with their mass worldwide mobs, upwards of 4 to 7 billion people, thousands per day. That's actually an understatement. If you were to do statistical analysis on all the cars and pairs backwards, and all the cars backwards, and the similar cars together, and the internet harassments, a good 100,000 to 1 million provokings per day, which is not wrong, has been escalating since 5 years old, growing exponentially, with groups of people following me around, hunting me down, saying you don't talk or we kill you or eradicate you, while trying to make me look crazy. Okay, so that's the context. Now, in between all that, last night a black guy follows me to one of these mobbing locations where they're trying to mob me to death, and he starts passing out pamphlets about God and religion and this and that. And he tells me that, well, you know, what you're seeing is the devil. Here we go again, right? The Eric Christensen bullshit. Eric Christensen and Sherry Christensen at Southern Oregon State College sent after me to follow me while I'm in Emerald Hall, and they come from Diamond Dorm working on with mental illness tactics and to eradicate me with the police, with the last name of Christensen. Eric Christensen saying, Kevin, read the book Job by Robert Heinlein, a comedy on religion or whatever, to try to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo who believes that the Illuminati is after him while they get mass groups to stalk me. Right? Okay, so once again, these mass groups are going ballistic on me. We have this black guy that shows up. I just mentioned to him that a lot of this is racial because they're, for some strange reason, mad at the Jew for kissing a black girl at 8 years old. Doesn't make any damn sense because nobody could give a flying fuck. And he starts in with these religious pamphlets, and he's trying to convince me that people aren't doing what I have endless proof of, which they refuse to stop, leave me alone, or even tell me what the fuck's going on, what it's about. It's the devil doing it. It's not the people, it's the devil. Okay, so why do you think this guy strategically followed me to this location last night?
Head southwest.
Preaching about the devil and religion while people are trying to torture and mob me to death with these gang stalking, paranoid schizo tactics. And what the police and government are trying to do is make me look like a violent paranoid schizo to make locking me in a mental institution look justified. Okay? I'm not paranoid, I'm not violent, I'm not schizo, I don't suffer from anxiety, I'm not bipolar, I'm not none of the fucking above on these hundreds of psychological bullshit labels. From starting with my family with their hate and anger, or maybe control issues. I can't fucking tell you, but whatever it is, it's unacceptable. Okay, so the point is that this guy's sweeping in the middle of just mass. This has been done to me over and over, by the way, the whole Illuminati scams or whatever. And he's passing out this piece of paper about, this group and go to this website and religion and it's the devil doing this and you need to believe in God and blah, blah. And so we have a short conversation and I sort of walk away from the guy because I'm like, I'm just not engaging in the bullshit I'm trying to brainwash you to make you look crazy like a violent paranoid Illuminati schizo. The guy obviously is full of shit. And when I walk away, he gets like more and more aggressive preaching. And he's preaching just how it's the devil. And I sort of have a debate with him, a short debate, like, look, if people are following you around, provoking you in anger, it has nothing.
Turn right.
It has nothing to do with the fucking devil. It has to do with angry people being told someone, also called defamation, slander, libel, lies, whatever the fuck you want to, propaganda, since it's worldwide across the internet.
Turn right.
It's secretly on the internet worldwide, so everyone in the world knows me, and then they go, I don't know you. So that's propaganda. Every day, newer and newer lies are sent out to the entire world about me on this secret internet-based news channel to cover up each thing they do to me, right? Well, that's propaganda. Except in this case, it's not real propaganda. It's intent to hurt, harm, maim, kill with premeditation or eradicate, lock away in cages, mental institutions. Okay, so the guy's getting aggressive. He's following me from place to place. He hasn't physically touched me or anything, but he keeps preaching how it's the devil. So there's some people getting in their cars, and I say, well, let's ask these people, right? Let's ask these people. Excuse me, if mass groups are following you from place to place, mobbing you to death and provoking you to death and trying to set you up in anger and rage, is it the devil doing it? Or is it the devil doing it? Or is it pissed off people because they've been given disinformation or told lies about you? Now, the people didn't want to answer because they don't want to admit that I'm being mobbed to death, which is very strange. And everyone wants to turn around on me. But the black guy that was trying to brainwash me into stupidity, looking like a delusional violent paranoid schizo, like Eric Christensen when I was 21 at Southern Oregon State College, even though there's nothing I said about anything at all, ever, that's crazy. Except, look, these people are stalking me and here's proof of it. That's the only thing I've ever said with proof. Which there's no dispute. There's proof. Now, at this point, the black guy gives up because there's a logical and factual or rational argument. Now, the people couldn't answer this simple question, like, well, yeah, obviously, if someone's pissed off at you, if groups of people are following you from place to place in anger, then someone said something, but they didn't really verbalize it, but they damn well knew the truth. And the black guy kind of gave up at that point. Why? Because now there's a third party witnessing.
1000 feet. Turn left.
There's a third party witnessing common sense and logic and fact. Does that make sense? So it's easy to try to manipulate someone when they're all alone or you're mobbing them to death, because they have no recourse to tell anyone. Right? But if someone's around, look, this is the factual argument. The factual argument is there's two scenarios here. Either God and the devil.
600 feet. Turn left.
Either the devil's making these people turn into zombies. Either the devil's making these people turn into zombies, which I don't fucking think so, or someone saying Kevin committed all these crimes and we want to remove him from society, right? Okay, well, there's nothing I've done wrong but be a really good person, but yet there's a worldwide campaign to exterminate me. Needless to say, it still comes back to the same exact outcome. If mass goofs are pissed off at me and they've been spazzing out for a good 42 years, they've been told something. It's that simple. Anyone with any 10-year-old with common sense can tell you that someone has the resources to blast lies about me to rile up the masses against me. Okay, so he gives up. Now the point I'm getting at about the black guy and the religion, just like Eric Christensen, and we're going to get into Tom Farley next, is that in order to try to cover up what they're doing to my life, to force me into mental institutions since 5 years old, they're trying to divert the argument from these people are fucking mobbing me and stalking me, and look, here's the proof. Fucking help, do something fucking about me, especially to the police. And then they lie to you because they've been paid off and are part of this. So he wants me to agree with him. Oh, it must be the devil then. Now he, at that point, not that I've agreed, I have not admitted or said anything, but at that point he would run around going, see, I told you Kevin's crazy. See, Kevin's crazy, I told you. Because you know what? Kevin came up to me and he told me that the devil's coming after him. That's the type of things they do, right? Now, at no point in 47 years have I ever made one statement about aliens, devils, anything else coming, any supernatural forces coming after me at all, in any way,
300 feet.
shape, or form, ever in 47 years. But it's amazing how many strangers have fabricated fictional stories about me, ones that I don't even fucking know. For example, this black guy is probably right now saying that I believe in the Illuminati, right? I haven't said a fucking thing to him. He came up to me trying to manipulate me, okay? And that goes back to Tom Farley and Aliens at 8 years old. Same exact thing, okay? I haven't said a thing. I haven't said anything about anything ever. I have not confessed to crimes. I have not done anything. I have not said anything. I have not told people that I levitate. I have not told people that the devil is controlling me. Sure, I've made lots of jokes from 100,000 different topics, from angels to demons to devils to politicians to frogs to music. But I have never made any actual statements in my entire life based on me believing in the Illuminati, me being a devil worshiper, me thinking there's some supernatural power, anything at all. So these people are running around trying to make me look crazy no matter what it takes. Okay, so that's the first guy. Now I'm getting to my destination, so I'm going to pause this, and then I will continue after that. It might be a little later. It might be dark out, but so what? Just to give you a little... After this, we're going to talk about the second guy this morning who followed me to a location that I was going to, which he knew, he followed me to the DMV because they knew I needed to smog my car and then update the paid registration. So they knew where I was going to go. So he followed me waiting in a black Eclipse, and I drive a black Eclipse. Okay, and the twins, or in their twins or mimic tactics, I have a 2008 convertible Eclipse, he had a 2003 convertible Eclipse, both black. So he's following me playing these schizo games to try to make me look crazy, and he's working on the Farley Alien tactic, and I'm going to get into that in a second. I'm at my destination here, and so when I jump back on camera here, I will continue with that topic. Okay, I'm on my way back from Santa Monica, and Santa Monica, LA-ish area, whatever, Santa Monica. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about the first guy trying to make me look crazy with these mass conspiring groups called gang stalking. Mass groups getting together to try to make you look crazy, to eradicate you, incarcerate you for life, whatever, just pure hate groups, right? Kind of like the KKK.
Turn right onto the ramp.
And I'm kind of doing GPS while talking. The ramp's right here. Okay, okay, just some of my Partiga cigar medication, whatever. Okay, so, whoa, and heavy traffic. Okay, so I talked about the first guy trying to make it look like I think the Illuminati's coming after me because he's working with mass groups to try to force me into mental institutions. Sean didn't see how do we force people into mental institutions with the judicial system or incarcerate them for life. Well, I don't know many people that run around. I want to force that guy into a mental institution, which kind of links to my brother and his shit and my brother's threats. He and his friends put a teacher in a mental institution. This is when I was 16, and now we have a bug in your room, and we're listening to everything you do on the radio, trying to make me look paranoid, right? Okay, like a paranoid schizo. A violent paranoid schizo. Me stopping my brother from going after Gregoire with a crowbar to find out that Gregoire was working with my brother in hopes that they could get me to help my brother. Okay. So anyways,
take the exit on the right. Then keep left at the fork.
Okay, so now, remember this is all within 24 hours. The next day going to DMV, Guy's waiting for me in a not identical, but I have a black 2008 Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible, and this guy was waiting for me in a 2003 black Mitsubishi Eclipse, and their little twin doubles. Their little double schizo, who knows what their angle is, tactics that they do over and over. So he's waiting for me, he sees me, he kind of has like the smile, like I'm fucking with you smile. And he knew I was going there because I had already registered my car, but I needed to go get the smog. So they knew I was coming back, right? Now remember, this is just some random Woodland Hills stranger working on me. Of course, parked next to a black soul, which they've been parking groups of souls all around my house to try to make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo. So he sees me kind of videoing my surroundings, and he kind of like, he's smiling and laughing or whatever, and he's sort of waving like I'm your friend. So I kind of walk up to him, I start talking to him, I hand him a card, and he starts obviously wanting to talk and trying to make me look crazy. So he says, I wouldn't worry about it. He keeps using we like he's part of this group of Kevin gang stalking target group, because he wants to sort of get information from me to twist it and contort it and go, oh, I talked to Kevin, he's crazy and he believes in this and that. So I don't remember exactly the conversation, but finally he starts to veer off like, I wouldn't worry because
Turn left.
I wouldn't worry because, you know, I spoke with aliens and this and that, yada yada yada. This is the point where I'm like, you know, I'm done talking to this dude, because I'm not going to sit here and talk about Tom Farley Aliens. Now, where does this come from? Well, one, it's a tactic, okay? It's a tactic to try to make me look crazy. But where's the
1,000 feet. Turn left.
But where does the information itself come from to try to make me look crazy? Well, the information itself comes from Tom Farley at the age of 8 years old. When I was 8 and he was probably 8.
Turn left.
Well, yeah, he was. And Tom Farley, quick recap, Tom Farley was involved in all sorts of things after I thought Christy Reynolds was cute and was too shy to talk to her, right? But in Miss Vaughn's English class in 8th grade. So wait, 8th grade, would I be 8 years old? Maybe closer to 10 years old. I'm not sure, right? You do the math, 8th grade. And then Tom Farley befriending Tracy Picos, and him with my family calling it a death stare because I thought Christy Reynolds was cute. And I was kind of looking at her, not staring, just kind of looking at her, glancing at her, going, she's really cute, but I'm shy, right? Okay, so how does a shy, quiet kid who's afraid to talk to a girl go into he's a violent, paranoid schizo who's giving women death stares and threatening them with their lives?
Turn right.
I can't tell you how things go from here to there, right? But every aspect of my life goes from here to there, directed at me. Okay, so at one point, Tom Farley, okay, first of all, I'm 47, so we're talking, what, 10 years old? I don't know. I'm 47. This is yesterday.
Turn right.
Or this morning, actually. Not even yesterday. And, so it comes from...
For half a mile.
It comes from me sleeping over at Tom Farley's house. And Tom Farley had an adjoining bathroom with his younger brother, Sean Farley. And Tom just turned out to be a complete douchebag, like a complete jealous, enraged piece of crap. But where did Tom Farley get the resources to now have a worldwide, we're going to eradicate Kevin Perlman with my brother, his friends, my family, right? You get the idea, with my father saying weird things that I think differently and hinting that I'm tormented, when I've never been tormented until I sort of found out with Mike Huntley's death threats at 29, we're using the system against you and 100,000 other things. You'd better live a careful life, to find out he's working with the police and government and all these, and psychology community on these freaky operations to defame my reputation worldwide, make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo, to remove me from society. Okay, so how does being too shy and not talking to a girl equate to worldwide
1,000 feet. Turn left onto the ramp.
worldwide extermination, right? Do you understand? It doesn't make any sense unless this is government flagging operations. Okay, well, we can kind of try to go into the gray areas and pick apart what was really going on with the police, government, psychology community, NSA, FBI, whatever. I'm not going to go into that. I just want to talk about...
Turn left onto the ramp.
I just want to talk about what they're doing. Okay, so what is it this guy wanted? He wanted me to say, oh, you talk to aliens? I spoke to aliens too. Okay. Well, cut that turn a little too close, but that's okay. Okay, so, and that would be a Sean Dinsey. Now I have driving problems and I need to be eradicated. Okay, so, Once again, from here to there. Okay, so how does... Okay, so never mind. So I'm talking to the guy. He wants me to say something weird like, oh yeah, I see aliens too. But really what happened was we were in like an adjoining bathroom, Tom Farley and Sean Farley. And Tom Farley says, there's like this sand glass window. And Tom Farley says, I'm like 10 years old. And Tom Farley says, like he elevates his voice. He goes, look, an alien. And what he was pointing at was like a sand glass window with a light refracting off the light pole. With like that warped light on the sand glass window. And he said, oh, look, an alien. And I never said anything like, oh my God, there's an alien? Where? What's his name? Is his name Paul? Right? Whatever. Okay, so what is the point I'm making? Because the same 100,000 lies from Tom Farley, Kevin, you said all people are stupid. Well, I never said that. Okay. Tom Farley is putting words in my mouth. But not only is Tom Farley putting words in my mouth, this information is being disseminated worldwide. Going, Kevin's crazy and Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo. Okay, so the first inconsistency we need to sort of talk about, 2 guys in 24 hours. One is working on the Illuminati devil theory. Tom Farley is working on the alien theory. Right? You see inconsistency here? I mean, which is it? Do I think the devil's turning everyone into zombies and trying to eat my brain? Or do I think Xenu the Scientology alien is coming after me? I mean, I don't know, right? Okay, so and there's been a whole bunch of things like Brian Longbotham wanting to take me to the Scientology building, Rob Roy McGregor working on the Scientologist angle with Hollywood and Brian Longbotham trying to make me look crazy. Okay, so the point is that I never said anything to this guy, Tom Farley, or anyone else about devils or zombies or aliens or any of these freaky supernatural things, Illuminati, nothing. So now you bet your ass this guy's running around. I talked to Kevin, and he thinks he talks to aliens. Something like this, right? Okay. 2 people in 24 hours. Why do you think they're doing it? Because they're trying to make me look crazy to lock me into a mental institution. So, of course, I break off the conversation. He gets mad with the little cryptic harassments. And I walk away, but now there's probably some kind of judicial cover-up how I did some horrible thing to this guy or something like this, right? The guy that's following me with groups from place to place. Or notifying mass groups to try to make me crazy and break my mind or something like that. Okay, so that's kind of just a quick, broad overview of this morning with those types of tactics that try to make me, Kevin Berlin, look like a violent paranoid schizo who thinks he sees aliens, or thinks he talks to or sees aliens, or believes the devil is coming after him. Now, remember, I do a lot of jokes about aliens and devils and heathens and demon jokes or whatever. Any sane, rational person can understand jokes or sarcasm or humor. Yet these people have no ability to differentiate between demon jokes or me joking around on social networks going heathens unite or little harmless jokes that nobody would normally care about. These people are strategically and obsessively all day and night going after my credibility and reputation. Why? Because they want to force me into a mental institution. Why? I don't know. But remember, we need to link all those things up with the endless threats and death threats It is what it is. You better learn to accept what's going on, or it's going to get a lot worse. Pardon my language. No relaxing for you, nigger. What else? Whatever, they're going to try to twist and contort whatever they can use to get me in a mental institution out of hate and rage, but more importantly, after 29, for what I know and them not wanting me talking, right? You, Kevin, you don't talk about what we did for the first 29 years of your life. So we're going to try to lock you in a cage or a mental institution and try to make you look crazy and, quote unquote, from the judicial system, incarcerate you for life. Okay, so that's pretty much that topic. Now let's look at my notes. Remember, my notes are these notes are kind of going a little everywhere because I was just writing down random thoughts. Okay. The what do you do tactic. I don't know exactly what that means. Now, on the surface, it sounds like, hey, Kevin, what do you do for a living? But every time I talk to someone, they're kind of like laughing and snickering and this and that. What do you do? And they're trying to get some weird confession, like I'm Jack Reacher, or I don't know. I have a feeling, I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling it's a reference to a movie or something out of a movie. Bottom line, they're trying to do the same thing. Well, Kevin has information and we don't want him talking about what we did to his life for the first 29 years in these mass groups, which is worldwide defamation and slander and libel. Trying to scare me with the word conspiracy and things like this. Well, conspiracy is two or more people getting together doing something to harm someone or something bad to someone. That's the definition. That's the actual dictionary definition. It's once you take it out of a movie, it's not a very scary word anymore. Okay, we're not talking about the movie conspiracy theory or anything. We're talking about reality, and there are conspiracies all the time, especially in politics,
In 2 miles.
government, Watergate, whatever. There's conspiracies all the time. The what do you do tactic, they're once again trying to get me to say something that they can twist and contort and use against me, trying to make it look like I'm crazy, need to be locked away, I'm a public nuisance, a menace to society, think differently, I'm crazy, whatever, right? Anything to eradicate me for what I know. And if I tell someone I went to policeabuse.com and we traveled all across the U.S., oh, you went to a group that is involved in stopping corruption against you because you value your freedoms in life, that's not crazy, that's common sense. With private investigators like Greg Miller and ex-Los Angeles Police Sergeant Don Jackson, okay? Okay, so, which witnessed all sorts of things and police harassments and all sorts of things. Okay. So, now remember, I wasn't allowed to prepare for trial to get these witnesses. That's another thing you need to kind of understand. These private investigators that I worked with to try to show what was being done to my life. Okay, where are we on my notes? People pretending to be crazy. Oh, that was the one I just. Tom Farley sent after me to have me eradicated for getting into building cars. Okay, yeah. Tom Farley was mad at me for building cars. There's all sorts of things. I don't want to go into the details with Tom Farley working on me with my high school teacher, auto shop teacher, Mr. Baylor. Also my English teacher, like 9th or 10th grade English teacher, Mr. Baylor. Mr. Baylor wanted us to write our obituary in high school, which my mom was freaking out. Well, that's not my fault that my English teacher wants us to write obituaries, and of course, my obituary was kind of like this joking Leslie Nielsen, Naked Gun, comical way of dying or something like this, right? Something like from the movie Naked Gun. And they're mad at me, right? Like, how dare you? How dare you write an obituary? Well, I'm sorry, that was the assignment. Now, on that note, we have 11th grade English teacher Miss Tunick wanting us to read A Clockwork Orange, which is a very violent book. I can't imagine why Miss Tunick, and there's a whole bunch of things they're mad at me about music, using the music reference tactic to try to make me look crazy and try to make it look like I conform to media. I'm not going into specifics in this conversation. So Miss Tunick wanting us to read A Clockwork Orange, which is very strange, and then write book reports on the movie Clockwork Orange. Well, that just seems a little out there for me. Like, why? I kind of ask other people, like, were you told to read A Clockwork Orange in Las Virgenes School District or high school? Because that sounds strange to me. Okay, so my father, Kevin, how do you live like you do? Well, I lived just fucking fine up until 29. Finding out what my father was doing with Tom Farley, Mike Huntley, Paul Humphrey, and many others, and then them not wanting me talking about it, saying Kevin's crazy and he's imagining it and he's delusional with the LAPD. And why did he want me to move back from Colorado to get me close to him? Reel me in with groups of people all told to sort of peer pressure me back so he could get me close. Now, my father's mentality is kind of like, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Okay, that's what I learned that one the hard way, and I couldn't believe that this is who my father was, an orthopedic surgeon with a secondary psychology degree who's really kind of like Hannibal Lecter. Okay? Now, remember, my brother and his friends were doing all sorts of things, like we want to keep showing you horror movies and then make up lies that I conform to horror movies and I'm crazy. Okay, so, the obsession public shaming tactic. I'm being publicly shamed for all my horrible crimes. I don't know what these are. I don't know what all these horrible crimes are. I know that the things I'm being publicly shamed, especially with Brian Weaver, are all the things they did. Example, Brian Weaver mad at me for building cars with my father. So Brian Weaver working on me with Pineapple Joe from Hawaii Racing, which is originally was in Thousand Oaks, and I think he then moved to Simi Valley, First Street, trying to make me look crazy. My father working with Brian Weaver, making up lies that I stole $10,000 from him to build an engine. When I worked my ass off in his office in the file room for scraps, just so I could make money to work on my cars, which wasn't much. Also, Victoria Walker later on in life was told to take over, asking me if I could deposit $10,000 checks from her. Oh, and my father working on this tactic with his girlfriend, French girlfriend, Alexander, saying, well, Mike Huntley stole $10,000 from Alexandra. The same lady mad because supposedly Mike Huntley drank one of her clearly Canadians out of the fridge, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Why is this chick going batshit crazy because someone drank a fucking drink out of the refrigerator that my father kind of loaded up with drinks for the kids, right? Okay, you get the idea that these things are just being fictionally fabricated, disseminated worldwide, twisted and contorted, and then used against me, and then anything that anyone else does in life, my family will pin on me saying I did it. So this public shaming isn't really a public shaming. They're trying to sort of make me look like a schizo and guilt me for everyone else's things. Now people go, you're crazy, Kevin, why would you think that? Oh, gee, I don't know. I have police officers following me from place to place every day trying to set me up to lock me away, where they keep writing up fake charges and things like this. Is that a little strange? Because of my past transgressions which are fictional. So the police's excuse and the judicial system's excuse is Kevin supposedly did this 30 years ago, so we're going to fabricate these false charges about something else to make him pay, right? And it just jumps from thing after thing, and 99% of these things are things that nobody cares about. Example: Kevin, one of your screen names on forums and IRC is Vertigo262. So? Oh, but we're going to sit there and make up all these fictional stories about why your nickname is Vertigo262, and then feed it to the entire planet on these propaganda extermination systems in secret built around me in 1994 across the internet, that my brother wanted me to see the internet so bad in 1994, when it was basic level telnet sessions and things like that, right? Then working the angle that I'm a hacker and doing horrible things. You get the idea? So my brother's sort of like usual, with everyone else playing both sides of the fence. I'm your brother and I love you, but I want to rid you of the world behind your back with the rest of my family, because they want to lock me in a mental institution. They want to make me look crazy, lock me in a mental institution, or incarcerate me for life so I can have a normal life. Well, that's fucking insane. That doesn't make any sense. And my father's bullshit, I'm going to follow you around and stalk you and try to make you mentally ill, and then go, you think differently. Well, I don't think differently. And then the judicial system's trying to leave out my entire life up until 29, working at Universal Studios, getting into 3D animation, visual effects, 14 years of IT, server builds, .NET programming, Transact SQL programming, graphic design and layout. We're going to leave all that out of the story here. You're just some crazy man like Mel Gibson in the movie Conspiracy Theory. Oh, wait. Isn't people's lives supposed to be about what their life is in the actual situation? Isn't that a little strange? Instead of following around saying this guy's crazy and he thinks he's a government agent and all sorts of weird shit like that, or he conforms to media while trying to make it look like I'm these things. Okay, so obsession. Oh, that it. So obviously this public shaming is based on a group worldwide now, groups of obsessed lunatics trying to run around saying I need some kind of clarity whether Kevin's crazy or not. Well, let me tell you, everyone's kind of crazy to everyone else that's different than them, right? I'm trying to. There's 100 million examples. Maybe someone's born in a family of lawyers and he goes to school and becomes an artist. He's crazy because we're all lawyers and he's an artist and he does these artistic things. That's not crazy. Not that it matters, but it's just a different thought process or passions. Also, it's not illegal to be crazy. So if someone actually did believe in aliens, believe they spoke to an alien, that's not a crime. That's not something that people follow someone around all day and night saying, I'm going to force you in a mental institution, even if Tom Farley's lies were true. Right? Okay, so what are we really talking about here? We're talking about flagging and extermination operations. At 5 years old, the government flagged me, we want to lock you away. We don't really have a legit reason. We just don't like or trust you, or we have insecurity about you. Kind of like slave owners, KKK, Adolf Hitler, and all throughout history, similar things being done to people. Even Romans and Jews, and all sorts of different cultures, doing the same thing based on people that are different. And as we all know, especially in the U.S., everyone's pretty much different from everyone else. Everyone is born with different values or things they like. And so that's not only is that not crazy, but it doesn't matter, because that's not the type of thing people obsessively follow someone around. I gotta prove you're crazy and I gotta lock you away. Okay, what we're really talking about, if you step back, is hate, rage, jealousy, I don't like you, or in my case, you don't talk, or we lock you away. And after 29, I believe Mike Huntley was mad, huffy and puffy, going, "You're okay." Well, what? Mike Huntley was following me around for 14 years, trying to check me out, and when he didn't get the answer he wanted, he doesn't want me talking with all of his death threats and all that. Okay, so all the things you're seeing and all the things that I've proven being done to me hinge at that starting point at 29 that nobody wants to talk about, and my family's playing these stupid games that I just went crazy and my brain just snapped. Well, that's bullshit. I was surrounded by groups of people with little threats. You'll get yours. We're using the system against you. Watching paid off people in the psychology community try to put bunk labels and weird stupid sayings from like Susan Donner, psychiatrist, the angels in the details trying to flip me out with illegal operations, working with waitresses from public places and Yankee Doodle's pool hall. Well, wait, I didn't think it's legit for psychiatrists to talk to pool hall waitresses, and because the pool hall waitress didn't get her tip, the amount of tips she wanted to lock people away in Rhythm of the World, right? With mass connected worldwide conspiring groups across the internet. Okay. The sad and lonely Rody Morales crime scam. Well, I think Kevin's sad and lonely, so we got to remove him from society because he might talk to people, he might ask women out. People who are sad and lonely aren't allowed to ask out women or flirt with women or do studio photography with good-looking women because he's sad and lonely. Hello, does that even make any fucking sense? Of course not. But these are some of their freaky justifications. Now, what they want is to say, Kevin, why are these people doing this to you? And they want me to say something weird like, oh, because I'm sad and lonely? And then the police go, this guy's crazy because he thinks people are following him because he's sad and lonely or some weird stupid thing like this. Okay, well, these things keep changing with their disinformation to try to get me to say something that looks like batshit crazy, but they can't get what they want except, look, I have proof these people are following me around doing these demented things. Okay? And a lot of this proof for physical attacks by people and things like that as well. That's the more obvious, but they go from subliminal harassment to extremely aggressive, and it doesn't matter what I walk into the police department with. If I have people attacking me physically on video, the police department will lie through their teeth saying, you're crazy and it didn't happen, even though it's on video. Okay, how do you explain that one? Even if you're crazy and someone attacks you, a crime is being committed against you, and whether you're crazy or not is irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. It's not the police's job to play psychologist or psychiatrist, or the judicial system. The judicial system's only job is to create peaceful communities, which my taxpayer dollars pay them to do, and they refuse to protect and serve when it comes to Kevin Perlman. And that's it. They're not here to question someone's sanity. They're only here to stop crimes from happening. And if someone really is crazy and crimes are being committed against them, then the crazy guy didn't do anything wrong. The people committing the crimes did. Period. The end. So it's an agenda. They would never do this to anyone else. Okay, what else is on the notes? The public nuisance and Mike Huntley tactics. I don't exactly understand where any of this comes from. 29, Kevin, I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with. And they've been sort of ratcheting down and tightening the noose on me since 5 years old, trying to get whatever they can use against me, anything and everything, and anything and everything equates to you breastfed wrong, or you yawned wrong, or you fell asleep in class, or who knows. Nobody gives a shit, normally. Okay? Showing their hate, rage, and obsession. Now, is he talking about when I was 16 and he introduced me to Melody the stripper from Agura? Or no, she was a Calabasas High student in Mike's age group, which was 2 years older than my brother. Remember, my brother and his friends. My brother originally was friends with Mitch Viner from Lost Hills, and somehow Mike Huntley came into the mix because he was Mitch Viner's neighbor working on me, right? And clearly Mike Huntley latched on to me with his obsession and hate with the police working on all these angles as well. So I don't really know who Mike Huntley really is, except for some guy who his mother raised pit bulls or something, and there were in his mother's house in the garage there were small cages of pit bulls, and which seems pretty inhumane now that I think back about it. And when he wanted to start Signity Services before we had an office, and my father reeled us close to my father in his office building, and I'm not going into the specifics of all the things they did there. He wanted to originally put the servers at his mother's house, and we built a little server room in the early days of the internet where T1s were the big deal. T1 internet connections were the big deal. Interesting that T1 internet connections and Sunny Skies Day Camp, T1, they moved me back a grade where I kissed the black girl when I was 8 years old and she was 8 years old. And after that I was labeled a white supremacist for kissing a black girl, which doesn't really make much sense, and I'm not going into the details of all the things they did, that they don't want me talking about the specifics. Even if I go to a therapist, they don't want me talking about the specifics. And my family will keep making up lies that I'm crazy and I'm lying and things like that, and I've caught my family in 100,000 of their pathological lies to cover up all these things. Okay, now the big thing with Melody was that at 16, Mike said Melody's bouncer is out of town or something. She needs someone to go to some cheeseball high school bachelor party, and when she was stripping at the bachelor party, she wore a rope. That's all I can really trace that. Who cares? She stripped with a rope, and I thought that was fucking awesome to wear a rope. Now Brian Weaver was sort of trying to publicly shame me at around 30 years old at a bachelor party for one of our high school friends, and he was mouthing off in anger and rage how this is a public shaming to me when the stripper came for whoever was getting married, one of my friends getting married, and Brian Weaver hinting about Melody the stripper. Once again, Melody like music. Also, I should note that Nikki Sixx moved 2 houses down from me from Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue moved 2 houses down from me. He was married to Brandy Brand, and they got mad at me for always going out and jogging, and then Brandy Brand started jogging, and they played this game like Kevin stalking Brandy Brand or whatever, right? Said this all sorts of weird shit. Now, maybe their threes tactic is about the song Girls, Girls, Girls. I'm not sure, right? I don't know, but you can see how they're sort of trying to use music and say Kevin conforms to music, Melody the stripper, all sorts of weird, freaky things like this. Just like my brother and his friends want to show me all the horror movies and say Kevin's crazy and conforms to horror movies. Let's see. Clearly, family paying these people off in secret out of hate, or contacting people saying make Kevin look crazy because we want to lock him in a mental institution out of this hate and rage directed at me, this obsession and hate and rage. I'm not allowed to just go out and live my life, and if anything in my life has to do with anything my family doesn't like, I'm crazy and I need to be locked in a mental institution. Well, that is crazy and that is insane, and there's a label for that, like obsessed psychotic murderers. So I haven't done anything wrong. I just have a group of people sort of trying to dictate my life, or else Elsie Sandoval, you're a dead man, or we're going to lock you in cages, jail, or mental institutions to teach you a lesson for defying a family that doesn't approve of things like playing pool or going out doing studio photography. Okay, so where are we? The game tactic, Jason Gordon. I think I mentioned, didn't I mention this in my last thing? I think I did. Let's just... public nuisance, strip clubs. Rody Morales. 4 people came in my life wanting to take me to strip clubs. Eric Christensen in Southern Oregon State College. Val Morozov in University of Colorado. Tom Farley and Rody Morales back after they reeled me back to LA. You're saying, so? Who cares? Where's the crime? There's no crime. I understand that maybe some people are conservative and they don't approve of that, or they're married and they don't want that type of personality near them. But these aren't crimes. Now, Mike Huntley's words to me were something like, in a threatening manner, don't associate with those people, basically telling me, threatening me, well, you associated with a stripper, so now we're going to rid you of the world. And then he wanted me to talk to my father for some reason. You get the idea? My father's like paying off Mike Huntley to stalk me and set me up and frame me because my father doesn't approve of my lifestyle or who I'm associating with. And I'm not going to tell you, sometimes there's shady people who are strippers or whatever. But the first thing I'm going to say is the porn industry, Hollywood, strippers are not criminal acts. They're not crimes. Okay? Strip clubs. There's a strip club right up here on Topanga Canyon called, I think, Exposed, a couple blocks away from Topanga Division LAPD. And I don't see LAPD breaking in with M16s every night blowing people away. They couldn't give a flying fuck. Right? Okay. So there's no crime here going to strip clubs at all. So why are they mad? Now, also in the office, after I was building adult websites, Tim Thompson, who kept saying, sent after me by Steve McPike, a fellow pool player, kept saying, Kevin, I want to build adult websites. Kevin, I want to build adult websites. Kevin, let's build adult websites. Well, I was already building adult websites. And then Tim Thompson changes. First, he doesn't want to take part in building the adult websites. And then he changes in anger right at the same time. Well, you built adult websites, didn't you? Okay, well, once again, there's no crime there. So maybe Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman is mad that his son built adult websites? But there's no crime. There's nothing that Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman or anyone else, especially Tim Thompson, working for Hot Body International, would remotely care less about, based on legal or illegal. And when Brian Weaver's talking about public shamings, what's he publicly shaming me for? That's like me saying, Brian, you went in the Army and got your pilot's license and you fly for the Army, so I'm publicly shaming you because I don't approve of you becoming a pilot for the Army. Okay, there's no crime here. There's no public shaming, even though publicly shaming people is pretty much highly illegal anyways, because you're destroying people's lives. And when they're publicly shaming me, it's not anything I've done wrong. They're trying to pin all the shit that they did onto me to defame my reputation. But where the shit hits the fan is the police and government are helping them with the psychology community. Okay, so what is this really about? Kevin, I don't like your life. But what did I do? Well, I can't answer the stupid question. I just don't like you or your life. Okay, well, that all comes down to hate. Hate, rage, obsession. But remember, these things actually start at 5 years old. So things get really weird and freaky that don't make any sense. Okay, where are we? Strip club. Family paying off these people. I think I kind of got into that. Okay. The game tactic, Jason Gordon. I'm not sure where I was going with this. I thought I talked about this in the last video blog. I think I did. Jason Gordon told to punch me in the stomach when I was in 8th grade. Brian Weaver bullying Ryan Hirsch in 8th grade. Ryan Hirsch and Brian Weaver going to the principal saying I bullied Ryan Hirsch for 15 minutes. the world coming after me, even now with Seymour Amster, with these false charges, and Seymour Amster intentionally losing the trial, losing the appeals intentionally, trying to make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo, because Brian Weaver kind of sort of bullied Ryan Hirsch for 15 minutes when I was in 8th grade. Who cares? I think I talked about that in the last video. Okay, this one's important. Brian Smith, Matrix, and Southern Oregon State College. Okay. I have no fucking clue what the whole Brian Smith deal is. There's something going on with Brian Smith. And there's all sorts of references from the movie Matrix with Agent Smiths, people whose last name are Smith or calling themselves Smiths, with these paranoid schizo Kevin conforms to media tactics. Let's do a quick rundown. I'm almost home, but let's do a quick rundown on Brian Smith. I knew Brian Smith, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. I thought Brian Smith was a great cat. Everyone called him Bucky. Everyone called me Kid Taco because they didn't like my piece of shit 69 Firebird. I bought a $300 69 Firebird and I put a 350 Chevy in it. It's a total piece of shit. And my friends called me Kid Taco to try to belittle me. I couldn't give a flying fuck, just like Brian Smith didn't give a fuck. Brian Smith didn't give a fuck that everyone called him Bucky. And the reason why everyone called him Bucky was his teeth were all fucked up. Brian Smith was like a fucking genius, by the way. He would make these like movie level latex masks in his house, in his room, and they were just fucking awesome. Now, I think around 9th or 10th grade, Brian Smith moved to Oregon. And Brian Smith never really verbalized he was moving or said anything. He just kind of fucking disappeared. He never really told me why that he was moving or that he was moving. He just moved, but I can assure you it has nothing to do with me. And I think people keep belittling me with innuendos, cryptically trying to hint that I pushed Brian Smith. And I don't know why. Now, there's all sorts of references about rooftops. Okay? There's all sorts of references about rooftops and Brian Smith. My father hinting that I pushed someone or something like that. Being that the things that are being done with the entertainment industry, of people writing shit around me and trying to guilt me or those freaky things, I'm guessing that there's a scene in Bucky Larson where I don't know, the porn star that goes, nothing grows in my cockshade or whatever, is like a play, I think, on Brian Smith, where he pushes him off the roof. Now, in my entire life, there's been hints about rooftops. Kelly Hatch sent after me to follow me up from Calabasas High to Southern Oregon State College to live above me in the dorm. Lookalikes at University of Colorado that looked like Kelly Hatch told to move above me in my apartment off Broadway Street. where she sort of tries to leave keys in her car in hopes that she can get me to steal her car, and Kelly Hatch making up lies that I stole her Jeep Cherokee and things like this. Okay, all sorts of weird, freaky, paranoid schizo tangents they're working on me with, trying to make me look crazy, that I wasn't even aware these things were going on. Now, my father's house on DeSoto, right off Peralta Street and Avenue San Luis, we had like a second store and a little like balcony area on the second floor. And there was a pool table, a balcony, and it was like the total party house. My guess is that my father and friends are making up some fictional dramatized lie that I pushed Bucky, Brian Smith, who moved to Oregon, off the second floor into the pool or something. That's my guess. Or maybe my family's just trying to make me look like a paranoid schizo. I can't tell you. But I will tell you this. If I actually pushed Brian Smith off my father's second floor balcony into the pool, he would be a bloody dead stump on the concrete ground. Because the pool wasn't underneath the second deck. The pool was spaced way out here. And there was a fence and then a pool. So if you were to push someone off the roof at my father's house on DeSoto, Avenue San Luis, you don't land in no pool. You land on a concrete and you're a bloody dead stump. Okay? Could never possibly happen. So the notion that I'm a horrible monster that belittled and bullied Brian Smith, once again, would be complete fiction. While Kevin Mee did nothing to Brian Smith at all, but be a really good friend. At one point, Brian Smith moved to Oregon. That's all I know. So while everyone's mad at me with Smiths and Brian Smiths and Mike Huntley references about the movie Matrix and Control and how I'm a horrible, out-of-control monster, none of it exists but to try to make it look like I'm crazy and conform to media. Okay, so now, where are we? Brian Smith moves to Oregon. I'm off doing my own shit, building cars. I'm just like, whatever happened to Brian Smith? Now, I'm about 11th grade. My mother sends me to some college counselors who sort of wanted to like pick colleges for me. I didn't take the initiative. I didn't realize that my family was sort of trying to create these controlled environments where they could try to make me look crazy, right? So, the college counselors had 3 schools. One was Loyola Marymount. The other was another California school. Can't remember. And the one was, another one was Southern Oregon State College, Ashland, Oregon. I went to look at all the colleges, and I liked Southern Oregon State College the best because it was completely different and out. It was completely different and out of California and something new and different people and something just completely new. Now, I believe my family's trying to play this game like Kevin Schizo. Because he moves where Brian Smith moved. And then, when I transferred to University of Colorado, because I wasn't big, Ashland, Oregon was small. It was like a town of 5,000, right? I wanted something bigger and more prestigious, and I moved to University of Colorado Boulder, where my brother had graduated from, and I believe what they're trying to do is say Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo, and he thinks he's Brian Smith, and he thinks he's Jason Perlman, and things like this, right? With their bullshit schizo tactics to do whatever it takes, try to make me look crazy, to remove me from society. But remember that my family is staging the situations by having these college counselors say go here, and then having Kelly Hatch follow me up and stalk me from Calabasas High, Southern Oregon State College. Now, I never would have thought about this until maybe 38, watching Kelly Hatch stalk me with the police. And then, or I shouldn't say watch, I should say finding out that everyone's mad at me about Kelly Hatch, but yet there's nothing I did to Kelly Hatch to find out all the shit she was told to do to me. And they're trying to cover up all these things. So all these things are sort of strategically planned from the beginning. Let me think. Anything else on Brian Smith? That's about it. Like everything else, I've done absolutely nothing to anyone. I was good friends with Brian Smith. I've somehow done something wrong to Brian Smith. I need to confess what I did to Brian Smith. I'm also a violent paranoid schizo, and then I'm playing mind games with people. Well, no, none of the above. The only thing that has happened is I went out and lived my life, and someone wants me dead, gone, eradicated, locked away, trying to make me look crazy, trying to make it look like I've had psychotic breaks, strategically planned out from day one, and that's it. That is it. Okay, so all this shit with the Smiths, Brian Smith, I'm a horrible monster, my father's wife Shelley, Humphrey saying I scare her and I'm a control freak, and all these weird freaky angles that don't make any sense are just daily, hour by hour, day by day, fictional, out of context fabrications with an agenda to remove me from society. Okay, so let's see, where are we right now? So that's kind of Brian Smith. I'm getting to the end of these. Oh, that is the end. Oh, Hill. I started writing something with Hill. I believe some of the things like the black guy they had following me at all the coffee shops, harassing me and doing all these freaky things, kind of looked like Tim O'Hill from high school. And I think I was sort of starting to write some notes about Tim O'Hill and maybe this guy who doesn't really look like him. He doesn't really look like him, but he doesn't really look like him. But I think they're trying to do their little twin schizo body double tactic, which they've been doing to me for so many years since a young child that I didn't even realize was going on. And they're trying to work all of these schizo angles and this and that, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it. It's October 17th, I think, 2019, on a Wednesday. I've sort of gone through the 42-year, let's try to make Kevin look like a public nuisance for speaking about the things they won't stop doing to me. And the threats, you don't talk or we eradicate you. But what was their original agenda up until 29 and me finding out about these endless setup attempts and frame jobs with the police and government, women paid off or sent after me, hunt down and eradicate Kevin Perlman, follow him to this college, follow him to that college, my brother sending all his friends after me at University of Colorado to try to set me up or frame me or make me look crazy, all the people working on me at Southern Oregon State College, pinning all their things on me and giving it out to the world, Brian Weaver's things tracing all the way back to 8th grade, Christy Reynolds, Tom Farley from 8th grade with Christy Reynolds, Tracy Picos, Brian Weaver with Ryan Hirsch working on me. All these things that I haven't even done anything close to anyone, but find out I'm being hunted. That's pretty much it. And come 29, Mike Huntley in an angry voice, "Oh, you're okay," like I wronged the fucking piece of shit for following me around trying to make me look like a schizo. And then running around saying I'm playing games with everyone's lives because I'm not crazy, and my behavior shows that I'm perfectly sane and stable. Then come the judicial cover-up operations with the psychology community. Kevin's crazy, and look what he did to us. Oh, poor us. Look what Kevin did to us. Well, wait a minute. I come 29. What's going on? My father, you know what you did. But I'm not going to tell you because people can lie. My mother, my past caught up with me, hinting that I need to leave the country. My mother making up childhood lies that I supposedly hit Josh Burnham in the head with a golf club. My brother sings with Gregoire, my brother going after Gregoire with a crowbar, me stopping my brother. Gregoire, my brother, getting mad that I made the right decisions, that I am a good, stable, decent person. All my brother's road rage shit that he's trying to pin on me. The weird chase tactic, chase angles. I don't know. I can't tell you why they're doing it. All I can tell you is it's been going on literally since 5 years old, and I trace all these horrific events, which now worldwide support you don't talk or we kill you or lock you away or eradicate you away for no reason, and a big one with the black community and worldwide groups. Well, you kissed a black girl at T1 or Sunny Skies Day Camp when you're around 8 years old, so you're a white supremacist. Now, every aspect of my life is similar. You kiss a black girl, you're a white supremacist. You donate to charity, you're a murderer. Whatever. They're all similar things that don't make any sense. But when someone has government, NSA, FBI resources to invest billions to spew out hourly or daily lies to the world, to rile the masses against you, these are all operations to eradicate someone. And so everything we're seeing, everything I'm talking about, everything that's been proven, all these people trying to make me look crazy, Tom Farley, Kevin, speaks to aliens, whatever, are all cover-up tactics to eradicate Kevin, his kind, as they say, with worldwide support on a forest fire of hate and rage against me since 5 years old, with my own family, especially my father with his endless daily lies to the world, and then reeling me back from Colorado to get me to live with him for a year, get me close to his office, hire me in his office to try to cover up all the things that he's doing or has been doing since 5 years old with the judicial system, psychology community, out of his hate, rage, jealousy. And then he's going to say weird things that I think differently, and I need to take medication and be in mental institutions. But it's not about any of that. It's about Kevin associated with Melody the stripper at 16, and I'm going to hunt him down and eradicate him. Okay, so now let's step back. We got all these people in Woodland Hills and every state and place in the world mad at me for associating with Melody the stripper at 16. Do you really think that these people give a flying fuck whether I do adult websites, whether I'm a nun, whether I do adult websites, whether I'm a nun, or sorry, not a nun, whether I'm a priest, whether I'm a monk, whether I go out on dates and talk a lot and have great sex, don't have any sex, whether I'm gay, whether I like to eat lots of pickles? Do you really think that all these people stalking me from city to city, place to place, worldwide, give a flying fuck about any of that? Do you really think that these people give a shit if Kevin Perlman is crazy or sane? Of course not. Nobody cares about anything like that. The only thing that these people are mad about is that I'm exposing their hate, rage, and 42-year obsession to eradicate my kind and my existence, and me blowing open that these people are completely fucking full of shit and leaving out every aspect of my life and who I am and trying to cover it up with every tactic known to man worldwide in some kind of government flagging and eradication agenda since 5 years old. That is it. It's not about anything else. It's not about anything I've ever done. It's not about my personality. It's not about my behavior. It's about someone that wants me dead and gone out of hate and rage. And that is it. Period. Okay? And so I'm going to kind of leave this here at that. And end this here. And then till the next blog. Till the next blog. Or video blog. And I will end this here when I find the stop button.